Welcome to How to Decorate from Ballard Designs, a weekly podcast all about the trials and triumphs of decorating and redecorating your home. I'm Caroline, I'm on the marketing team.
And I'm Taryn, and I'm a product designer.
I'm Liz, I head up the creative team.
We're your hosts. Join the expert team at Ballard Designs for tips, tricks, and tales from interior designers, stylists, and other talents in the design world.
Plus, we'll answer your decorating dilemmas at the end of each episode.
We love answering your questions, so don't forget to email us at podcast@ballarddesigns.net.
Now, on with the show. Okay, we're recording Trials and Triumphs today. Who's excited? Taryn is in a frustrated mood.
Woo! I'll turn it around.
Turn it around.
Turn
We're gonna turn it around. But who would like to go first?
I'll go first because you already called me out, and I feel like that's fair.
Would you like to?
Frustrated.
Do you need to?
Do I need a reset?
Do you need a minute? Yeah, do you need a minute?
No, I'm good.
I can go if you need me to. Okay, you go.
I'm only frustrated, guys, because my computer is just being a beast today. And so, you know, those days when you feel like you're going to be productive and you're like ready for it. And then it feels like the universe is like, no, not today.
Yeah.
You need to take a chill
It's a little
pill.
stacked against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was today.
That is so annoying.
Yeah.
Because I love that productive feeling, like when you get that, you know.
I did. I had it today.
Yeah.
I was so like rested and had a wonderful weekend. And yeah, no, not today though. But I was just going to say, I had been thinking about my updates and I didn't have too many for you guys. We ordered fabric for the drapery in my bedroom. So that was the big thing is we ordered many, many yards of, it's actually a Pete Kaufman fabric that we carry. It's a big old window pane, but it's off-white. And actually, what do we call it? We have a name for it. Ooh.
Is it like the off-white with the mustard?
Yes. Off-white mustard brown, but it's a big window pane pattern. And so like the background is just like off-white, and then it's got the lines that make the window pane, like horizontal lines are mustard and the vertical lines are brown or something. It has a very masculine kind of feel. And the repeat's like 3.75. So it's kind of bigger, a bigger window pane. But I brought home a swatch of that from Ballard, and I'd searched and searched. I bought a ton of other swatches from all over. And it's just what my mauve dipped room needs. Like we have looked at everything, but like it is what it needs. It needs something very graphic. It needs something very polished, not floral. Because every floral I purchased was just like, it just made it too much. It made the room too sweet. So this I think is going to be exactly what a very pink dipped room needs. Is like this very structural, kind of masculine
menswear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's called Stroud Plaid.
There we go.
Mustard.
Thank you.
That is okay. That is a fabric I forget about. And you're right. That the mustard color is kind of
really
great
nice.
with your headboard.
Oh, so yes, for anyone, I have this huge channeled, like fully upholstered headboard bed from Ballard as well, because this is where I work and what I live in, and somehow always come back to. So I'm very grateful and excited for this fabric. So now I'm doing this shopping around to find someone that can make me drapes, and this is where I wish I just knew how to run a straight line through a sewing machine and had taken a class on how to make some pinch pleats, and I could have like. You're right when you're like,
yeah,
if I had only learned, this has to be easy enough. It's a straight line of all things, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm shopping that around right now, trying to find somebody to make them. But the exciting part is now I have this massive roll of fabric just like sitting, reminding me every day to get it done. So hopefully, and then I found some fabric for what I believe I want to do on 2 chairs in my living room. They're these blue velvet chairs I got years ago from the Anthro outlet, and they're like a brilliant blue, royal blue maybe, and they have tufted backs, and they're just kind of low and sweet and simple, and they sit nice. And my sofas are white and those are from Ballard, and I just want a pattern. It's just the walls are white, so the chairs need to be a very small stripe. And I have like searched around, tried a few different colors that go with my rug and go with this quilt. this woven quilt I got in Chile when we were there. And it's my favorite thing. It's like one of my favorite things. Like I had to have it when I was there. And it's all my favorite colors. It's orange. It's like a sagey mint color. It's hot pink, all red into stripes. You guys, I know it sounds, but you can picture it. It's a Chilean like woven blanket with purple, like the little hatch stitching along the edge. It's fantastic. So I'm using that, and my rug is kind of my like the vibe of what the stripe on the chair needs to be. And then I'm working on trying to figure out a fabric for drapes in there. So I'm slowly like kind of back on the fabric train, where you're kind of like, what does a room need? So those are my big moves recently. And then my other thing that you guys would be very proud of me, speaking of stripes, I had seen a Instagram reel or TikTok, I'm not sure because I'm old, of this person who took the IKEA frames and had taken fabric and covered the frame. And did I talk about this already? You guys are both shaking your head.
You didn't.
Okay.
I just saw it on your Instagram.
Okay.
Me too.
But I'm excited to learn more. So don't. Yeah.
So I saw that they just took the IKEA frames, which come with a mat as well. And you cover not only just the frame with fabric, but you cover the mat with fabric as well. And it looked fantastic. The person who did it did in this very subtle stripe, or it was even a ticking stripe maybe. So while I was in before I went to Maine prior, we were at IKEA recently, and I was like, I remembered when I was in the frame section, and I was with my husband. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to grab some of these. And he was like, why? And I was like, I have a dream. Hold on. I've seen this. I want to do this. And so while we were in Maine, there's a salvage store up there that I love, and I've talked about for years. You guys probably know about it. It's called Moddens. It's literally a salvage store that's only in the state of Maine. And I went back into their fabric section while I was there this year, and they had a perfect green ticking stripe that like matches the green trim of my upstairs walls where I want to put said frames. So I got a few yards, like 3 yards of that fabric. And it was like, $10 a yard or something lovely, where I was like, yes, what else should I cover in this ticking stripe, kind of feeling. But I brought that back and took some craft time to myself, and I covered 2 like 5x7 frames, one 11x14. And, you just take it apart and measure it, and you
like, are we talking hot glue, staple, and that's
Mod Podge?
Like, what are we talking
What'd you
here?
use?
Like, yeah.
Well, the guy used spray adhesive, which I still had, ironically, from 20 years ago when I was in my major.
You still had
I
it?
had a can.
Did it still stick?
And it still stuck. I had a backup can in case, so I must have used it for another project.
Okay.
So I had 2 cans. Why? I don't know. So I used the spray adhesive, and I think I'd seen one where Mod Podge, but of course with fabric, you just kind of want it to be clean, so that's why I spray adhesives really well. So I put it on some cardboard, I spray adhesive it, slapped it down, and then I hot glued and trimmed with scissors and hot glue to get all the edges on the back side, of course, of the frame, and folding it and cutting it. But it was very simple. I fully recommend it. So I got those done, and I also had hot glued some of this coral I'd collected in Thailand a few years ago, and like a hoarder just like kept this bag of it with like all my moves. And I was like, all right, Taryn, throw this away or do something. So I had taken a frame that a friend bought me. I know, just follow along, guys. This is my...
I'm responding to your facial expressions are so funny.
Sorry. A friend had given me 2 World Market frames that were, I believe, supposed to be like bone with a print, like a screen print on them. So the back is wood, but then it has like this material, but I'm pretty sure it's just a creamy resin. It's not bone, which is fine. But I didn't like the print that was on this creamy resin or whatever. So I sanded it off. I took the coral, which is like a creamy white, and hot glue, and I, like a starburst, I put it all around here. I can show you guys because we're sitting here. Hold on.
Yeah, she's been like staring at something past her screen, and so I'm like, are you looking at it? But she must be looking at it.
All right, sorry, I forgot we could do a show and tell, because not only is there some slight video. Okay, so here is my frame. I don't have pictures yet. That was going to be my trial. I've started collecting all the different frames. But so
Oh, like you haven't put a picture in the
Correct.
frame yet. Oh,
So
that's cool.
it's kind of like uneven pieces of natural coral that I just hot glued around a frame.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it going to hang on the wall or does
Yes.
it like have a back? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not planning to make it sit because it would sit weird with the
I was going to say,
coral
how is it going to sit?
extends
Got it.
past the frame.
That is cute.
So I'm going to put that on the wall though for like a kind of organic shape. So now I'm going to show you guys my IKEA frame.
Okay.
So here's the
That
back.
looks good.
You can see like it's not clean on the back, but on the front it's pretty clean. And then the little mat that fits in it to double up.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that
And so it's lined up perfectly or is it what's like it's good enough.
Caroline,
I mean, I can't see it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
is that what you responded as though? Yeah.
I tried to align it. I tried because
Yeah,
it was
it's aligned.
stripes, but I'm just not a very particular,
I was going to say that would be really hard to do, just to make it like,
yeah, it's a little
Just
off,
so.
but you really can't tell. And so I've been
Yeah.
collecting all this stuff to make this kind of, to make all the stuff on our hallway wall upstairs because it's still plain other than two sconces and the beadboard. And so then I had made these like handprints years ago
cute.
when the kids were small, and I painted them the sage on the edge again. So like now we're getting like texture on the wall, like different things.
this is going to be so cute. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And then
I'm excited for you.
I shopped around and found these sets with the burl wood veneer.
Where'd you get those?
Amazon because they were cheapest there. I don't think they're anything special because it isn't on the sides. So I don't think it's, I believe Pottery Barn or West, one of them also had them, but they were just a little more expensive. And mine's going upstairs. And I'm on a dime, as you can tell by me hot gluing coral. So I have those. And then there were some other gold frame, very just simple gold frames from IKEA that I purchased. And then one last piece. Hold on.
There are some well-priced burl wood frames on Amazon.
I hope you're following me. And then because the walls are
Yes.
white upstairs,
Yeah.
other than the trim is like a sage color. So the
Well, it's
upper
like a
trim,
wainscoting.
Mhm,
Yeah.
and a wainscoting bottom. So then the other frame my friend gave me that I didn't like, that was like a bone. It has a fun little cutout with a rounded part, but it's a 5x7. And I just painted. I just
stripe.
took craft paint, sagey craft paint that matched. So like I will have all these like elements on a wall together. Like it gonna be cute. So they're all like warm and creamy, and they should like kind of match perfectly. So now I just have to figure out art. What I want to put in them, and art.
Are you going to do like photos, like family photos? Or is it going to be a mixture?
So for this spot, I mostly want to do family photos and family travel because it's between all of our bedrooms. And for me, it's kind of like, you're not up there unless you're family. And so for me, I would love, I know for years we've talked about it because like Karen's always joked she doesn't have any family photos downstairs and stuff like that. And I do think we're at this weird time where like, for me, it's really like, that's just a place people don't go except for family. So I kind of would love to tell our story up there however we want. And so, but yeah, I don't know. If I can find some cool art to go, I'm like not against it. I'm just probably going to start with mostly family photos and travel photos. So, because Dave and I have been blessed to have gone so many cool places too. So we really do just have our personal photography from a lot of cool places too. So anyway, so that was, I worked on, but of course it's just in a big stack because I'm not, as you guys know, like committing. I have been in here exactly 2 years now, and the committing to things is still so hard. So I just want
I can't believe it's been 2 years.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I got the burl wood frame, and I'm kind of like, it'd be good to get maybe some of that nice burnt bamboo that we're doing at Ballard too in there. Like something with that would be gorgeous in there. So anyway, I think that's my house updates right now.
You could do
lot.
some of those. Aren't we doing some of those bamboo brackets? At some point?
Yes.
You could do some brackets and put like some. Don't you have like a bunch of main shells and stuff? I don't know. Maybe you could do like some.
You know it. You know I'm like a curiosities queen.
Yes,
would be the way to put it. So
That's exciting.
So I thought you guys would be excited, and I can send the link for those frames because they come in multiple sizes.
I've been seeing so many like hand painted frames, hand painted mats, you know, like just a lot, I don't know. I feel like that sort of arts and craftsy kind of thing that was kind of 80s-ish is back. And I love that it's like I have a bunch of old frames that like I'm not using anymore. And it's fun to be able to think, oh, okay, like I could paint it and paint a stripe and just sort of reimagine stuff. And so I love that about
I know.
your little stripe project.
Or it's such a fun little segment right now of how people are very into artisan and one of a kind and the maximal. How do you? So it's a fun little, who knows how long I'll love it. But right now I got some classic things like burrowwood frames and gold frames mixed in there. So like, you know,
yeah,
I can always replace.
Yeah, you've got enough texture and difference in scale of different things. So that's really exciting.
I should have brought it over. It's like sitting, like I can see it while I'm working, like, excuse me, ma'am, you need to do that. So stay tuned. Okay, that's my update.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Cool. Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay, so, all right, trial. So my neighbor has now posted his main house as an Airbnb. So if anybody wants to be my neighbor for a few days, come on over. So
Liz will serve up some lovely tea.
Come on over. No, so it's all totally good, but it's just one of those things where we've had so much greenery and foliage between our houses, and now all of that's gone because we put up this big fence between our yards. And so now it's like, you know, you get to, when you live somewhat close to someone, you know, just on the other side of the driveway, you kind of get to know like, oh, well, that's their spare bedroom. They never open that window. Well, now people are in that bedroom and they open that window and they look right into my kitchen. And I'm like, oh. So we're looking at drapery. So this weekend we
same boat.
Yeah. It's all drapery. It's all drapery. I have the hardest time measuring for drapery.
What do you mean?
Okay, so in my family room and in the laundry room, I need to measure for blinds, and I'm having a tough time with that. And I should probably just, because do you hang it outside? Do you hang it inside? Can I hang it inside? Because
I mean, I would say whenever possible outside. And I feel like the margin of error is a lot easier when it's outside.
But she does have, I mean, that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know. I would usually say that, but she has that gorgeous brown, like very specific to her time period of her home trim. Do you still think so?
Yeah. So dark wood trim. Yeah.
But I mean,
but I could. Okay. So
we're just
in
talking.
the family room, I could put blinds that, like Roman blinds that fit within the window frame. And so they're still kind of framed out. And
which I do agree with Caroline. I think that is of vogue, is if it fits in the frame of the window. Is that what you were saying? Or you were saying like oversized?
Like the window pane.
Are you talking about an inside mount or an outside mount?
So I'm talking about an outside mount that would fit within the inside.
Right. Like the outermost edge. Yes. The outermost edge of the blind is like more or less flush with the outermost edge of your molding. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So if it's down, you don't see your molding either. All of a sudden, all you have is the fabric.
Well, thanks, you guys. You guys are shifting me into triumph. Okay. So that's in one room. But in my kitchen, okay, so here's what I did. So I've got 2 windows over my sink, and they're kind of, they're 1930 squatty window panes, 3 over 1. And then I have a door that leads from the kitchen out into the driveway that we don't use it, but it has a really beautiful inset window, just a pretty like old mottled glass window. And that's the one that they can see right into. So here's my solution. Here's what I did. So I got one of our French return drapery rods, and I hung that over the 2 windows over the sink at the same height as the top of the bottom window.
Right. Like where the windows meet.
So when you walk in the room, you don't even see it. So it's very dark wood. It's an oil rubbed bronze rod. So
nice.
It's clean. Got some little rings, put those on there. But because it's such a short, squatty window, I bought some of our cafe panels. They're way too long. Like
they are kind of big.
Like way too long. So I a
To
little.
Target?
I did. I did. I went to my happy place and I went to Target. And I bought a whole bunch of like the Hearth and Hand napkins that they've had out
Mm-hmm.
this summer. And they're 18 inches, which is just the right height. So I have a
Perfect.
whole bunch of
Amazing.
like little napkins, like little pink plaid napkins with orange serged edges.
Cute.
It's adorable. It works for now. It's like, and it's what's really cute about that is that it feels really quaint, which
Mm-hmm.
works for this kitchen because
Mm-hmm.
my sink is like the 1930s
I love it.
big
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
metal mauve. I call it the Edsel. It's just a big metal sink.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just kind of fits there and it's really charming. And then the window that's in the door, I got some adhesive, like, what is it called? Like just the vinyl, like window vinyl.
Yeah, like is it to where like it's frosted?
I didn't get frosted. It's kind of like a little clear basket weave pattern.
Oh, okay.
So I
Uh-huh.
put that over it. And then my mom did a whole bunch of stained glass in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have all those from the house that we grew up in. And so I have one and it's probably about 20 inches by 20 inches. And so I'm hanging that in the centered in the window. So then I've got this frosted look behind it. So the whole thing eventually will it kind of looks like it's all one big stained glass piece, but
Okay. Yeah.
We're
so,
gonna need a
you
photo of
know,
this,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I'll
it
send you
sounds
photos.
cool.
I'll send you photos.
I love the
So
idea of stained glass as window treatment.
I'm trying it out. I'll let
Yeah.
you guys decide. But the kitchen's still a hodgepodge, but it's charming and cozy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but
So
if it's the vibe of the kitchen, like you
it's
said,
Mm-hmm.
it's totally vibe of the era. It's
yeah,
it's and I know, we always talk about how window treatments are just the finishing touch and it's so true. And we say it all the time, but like you do it yourself and you're like, "Oh, and it feels good and it feels finished."
it does. It's so
It
wild.
does.
I think that's
It
why I
does.
so badly want to get these few more panels made just so I can enjoy the space before I change my mind and paint it and
Right?
redecorate completely. So I'm like, come on, just
Oh my gosh.
get that hurdle, girl. So I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of paint, so in kind of this like end of summer interim between project type things, you could walk around my house and find paint swatches up on a wall in every room. But I pulled the trigger on one of them and I have double doors that lead out to the backyard in our laundry room. And they were white, they were boring, it was all fine, but I painted them green, like a really kind of beautiful dark Kelly green, and they make me so happy. So you look from the dark purple family room into this like green frame that frames all of the foliage that's happening outside, and it's really
I
nice.
love
It's
that.
so nice.
Green and purple is a great combination.
It really is.
Like I love lavender and green together. So pretty. I know that's not really
No, but
you've got like a darker purple and a brighter green, but I just feel like I guess it's like it's the color wheel
right. You see it in
situation.
nature. It's happening outside right now.
Yeah. I love that. That's
So,
awesome.
Those are
so
some
I've got a
great
picture of
Treatments
that
are
too.
hard. I feel like they're always the measuring, but also the trying to envision how it's going to work, and then you also have to merge all of that with the function that you need. It just makes window treatments like very
It does,
tricky.
and
Yeah.
it's not a small investment.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not a small investment.
Well, it's also not completely, it's just not for a lot of people, they don't think twice. It's like either there and they know it or it's, not. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm with you. It's so hard. That's why when that blinds.com offered installation and came and measured, I was like, please
Okay,
take
maybe I need to
this,
re-examine that.
take it off my hand. I'm going to mess this up. And it was great. It was great.
Yeah. I'm
So,
so glad that you had a good experience because I am always like, it's like a hidden, I don't know. It's like, it shouldn't be as good as it is, right?
right.
Um,
I know what you mean. It feels too simple to be so like easy.
Right. It's like blinds.com.
Right. Like it's comical. It's like anything named that simple. Yeah, you're like, this is such a silly name. But you know.
So that's what I've got.
Nice. Okay, well, I have a few updates, and then because I think last time I was talking about how I had just been to James Farmer's house, and he is a big fan of the box pleat lampshade, and so that really kind of made me want to change the lampshades basically in my entryway. So I had, and so anyway, I'm just going to recap real quick. Basically, I had the Bryn table. I had 2 Bryn table lamps on my front entry, and I used to have these like very elongated drum, so they were like much taller than they were wide, if you can imagine, on them. And I always really liked that because, practically speaking, the width of the shade was slightly narrower than the table because it's like a pretty narrow entry table. But anyway, going to James's house, I was like, oh, this looks so great. The box pleat lampshade. And I had recently seen the Bryn lampshade with our box pleat lampshade on set. And so I ordered some lampshades and they came and they look fabulous. And it actually doesn't bother me as much as I thought that they would, that it sort of hangs off the table. We haven't had any issues yet. So that has been great. And it really, it just looks so good. I'm telling you, that lampshade looks good on everything. Anyway, so I'm very pleased with that. And then the other little lampshade update I did was that, long story short, I sort of like blew the outlet in Birdie's room. It was kind of installed improperly. Anyways, so I haven't had this little, I used to have this little mini lamp on a side table by like the glider in her room. And when the outlet stopped working, I moved it into my kitchen. And so I've had this little mini lamp in my kitchen, but then I just got the outlet fixed, but I kind of like the lamp in my kitchen. So I didn't really want to move it back. So I went to our outlet and I got a mini Jamie glass table lamp. It's just like a very simple, clear glass sort of globe with like a brass base. But I want it, like it's in a nursery, little girl's room. So I kind of wanted to add a little pizzazz to it. So I ordered a pink scalloped pleated lampshade from Pookie. Have y'all?
Yes.
I think we've talked about Pookie.
So fun.
And it's just so cute. I don't think that, like, it's not a cheap lampshade, but compared to other places that have patterned pleated like silk lampshades, I feel like it's a pretty competitive price. And it was very small. I want to say it was like maybe $60 or something. And then the lamp that I got was like really cheap. And it just looks so cute.
It's
Anyways,
so sweet.
I'm very pleased with it.
It sounds
It
really
looks adorable.
cute.
That's so exciting.
So that was fun, and it looks really good. And you know what is great about a pink lampshade? It casts the most delicious little glow in her bedroom, and it's so pretty.
Everyone
we
looks
always
good in
read
there.
Yes, and and I have that pretty chinoiserie wallpaper in there. So it just kind of, I don't have a lot of pink in there. There's some pink in the wallpaper, but I don't have like, it's not a pink nursery for a little girl. It's really more of blues and like an robin's egg blue. Anyway, but the pink looks really good, so I'm happy with that. And then my last little update is that I'm probably like 10 years too late, or maybe even 15 years too late for this trend, but I got a fiddle leaf fig tree in my living room. I have always wanted one. And in every place I've ever lived, like our first house or our first like apartment, we had way too much light. Our old house that we moved from didn't have enough light, but our living room has kind of like the perfect light for houseplants. And I'm just not good at keeping a houseplant alive. But
you are going to do this. I have faith in you.
But I'm like bound and determined.
You got this.
And so we got a like big tall fig tree.
You got like
I got this gorgeous pot to put it in. The pot is like,
love this. It's
really pretty. And I got a little, this may be a total gimmick, but I'm like determined to keep this thing alive. A little like soil, like tester thing.
That, knows it's
tells
moisture.
You the moistness. Yes. Tells you the moisture of your soil. So we check her soil every day.
Oh
and make sure she's good. And
she's gonna live.
It looks great in there
based on that alone.
It's gonna be fine.
The great thing is like a lot of times a houseplant to me, like they kind of start to blend in, and then you forget about them. And then if I forget about it, then I forget to water it, right? But I sort of have like a dead Like when we have family meals, I'm like looking directly at her. So anyways, I feel like that bodes well for her survival. Anyway, but so we'll see how that goes. It just was kind of the right spot for a big tall plant. One day I would love to put like a big sideboard that I can put like lamps and store more kitchen or dining stuff in, but I really want like a great antique, and it's just not really like in my budget at the moment. So and also like with the girls running around, I'm kind of like, I'll do that when like they're more grown up. So anyway,
you are going to love it. I don't think it's too old, because I think what everyone loves about a fiddle leaf is it adds so much height. It just adds so much volume to a room. And it almost, again, it's like Liz was saying with like the drapery part, like all of a sudden your room kind of sings. It's that whole living piece of it. We are on our 7th fiddle leaf. And by 7th, I mean,
because they all die?
Nope. Sorry, that scared a lot of people. I worded that wrong. We killed one. But it was when I had Elliot early, and I'm not going to, there was other things on my mind than the fiddle leaf. So since then we've added 6 more since then. And you have 6 total. I have 6 total now. Because I think I even told on here once where like my mom accidentally was moving it and snapped the top off one. And I ended up being able to get roots to grow on the snapped part. And so now it's its own fiddle leaf because it rooted.
Are they all in the same room? Or are they in different rooms? I can't remember.
Different rooms. I have found, my house faces west and the back faces east. So we pretty much keep them on those so they get the sun. Nothing's north and south, really. I mean, of course, they're tucked into corners where that's the light too. But for the most part, they either get morning sun or afternoon sun. And I swear, as long as you don't overwater them or underwater them, they're happy. Mine are happy.
Yeah. They'll tell you pretty quickly if they're not happy.
Okay, that's good.
Because a leaf will start falling.
Okay, that's good, because I was inspecting it earlier today. I've had about a month.
Oh,
and it looks pretty much exactly like it did when we got it. Like all the leaves are same color, nothing else is falling off, no brown spots.
Do you have any new buds?
I do not yet. I probably should look more closely. I wasn't really looking for that. I was mostly looking at the leaves, but anyway, so.
I mean, you guys know.
I'll keep you posted.
It's so fun. I'm like,
that's exciting.
How can I help you? I am. I'm like,
I'm not an indoor plant person. I always kill them. So I'm like, I'm got to keep this one alive.
And I know I've said this 12 times, and so everyone listening hates me, but if you just put it on your calendar, like every Friday afternoon, whatever day of the week you need to like remember, and you always, because then you will, like once a week you'll be like, it's watering day, and you just go through and you figure out what, I mean, each plant. Yeah,
that's my Sunday morning coffee.
Yes.
I've decided Saturday is my watering day. Yeah.
Because my maidenhair fern, she is a guzzly girl. I cannot keep enough water.
Really?
If she is
oh my gosh, I can't.
Not soaked, she is, so I'm learning. It's died and come back, and so you'll have so much fun.
Okay, that's probably why I've always killed maidenhair ferns, because I love them, but I think I don't water them enough.
This is my first one that's been planted, or is an indoor one. I have one outside that's done great, but that's another one. I give myself the grace of always killing the first one. Oh,
that's a good rule.
Like, just know that you're going to learn something, and it might take the first plant. You can't do that with kids, but you can really do it with plants. So after I killed my first fiddle leaf, it was kind of like I started with a small one after that, and then he did well, and then I like ventured until we got bigger and bigger and bought full-size ones. So we have quite a few different ones. And then we kept going on plants. Like you said, you keep a few alive, and then you start to get ballsy. You're like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah. I will say the little, like, it's not a thermometer, but the meter
is really helpful.
Water meter is really helpful. Because there have been times where I've, like, watered it, and then it, like, didn't seem to get much more moisture. And so then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to add, like, the amount of water I was giving was not enough. So I need to like double that. So, you know,
Yeah.
it has been a little bit of trial and error, but so far so good. So,
The only negative with houseplants is when you go out of town, you get real nervous because it is true. You're like, I don't know the exact measurements of each plant, nor would I like put it on someone else. But I'm like, it's like half of it. It's happening. You've like overflowed it and it's gone all over the floor, or you figured out what works for you, that your holder too. Like, anyway.
Yeah, like the container you use. Yeah.
So
Luckily, it's like right now it's being like a once a week thing. And we don't usually go out of town for that much longer than that. So, yeah. So anyway.
Well, good luck. I hope you don't kill your
Thank
first
you.
one.
I will update
give
you.
yourself
I will
the
be
grace.
really upset because
Yeah.
I did not start with a little one. I just jumped right into
No,
like a full size.
That's what we did the
large.
first time too.
So I'll be sad. They're not cheap.
They are more of an
they're a
investment
little-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are sometimes
but-
at Costco. So randomly,
okay.
you can always start again. But
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
you're welcome. That was a lot
yeah.
on fiddle leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, and I take them out once a year and I wash their little leaves. They get a little scrub.
Oh, I did buy something which probably is also a gimmick, but called like leaf shine.
Girl, you are ready. You have the pot.
I was like,
the
I'm getting all
meter. Man, you're ready.
Well, the pot, I mean, in a room that like is visible, the pot is as important as the plant,
For sure.
right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I'd have to get the right pot.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, well, I will keep everyone updated. So,
Are you naming it? Sorry, that was my last question.
we did name it.
You know.
Blair named her Taylor after Taylor Swift. Will wanted to name it a male name, and she wanted it to name it a girl name, and so we decided on Taylor because it could be either male or female. So,
And Will.
according
That's
to
awesome.
according to Blair, it's Taylor Swift, but according to Will, it's a man named Taylor.
And as Will has learned,
Yeah.
he wins
Yeah.
nothing. So,
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, can we get a male dog? Nope. How about a male houseplant? Nope.
not even the house plant.
So anyway, but yeah. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. And I'm always love hearing about what's going on. And Taryn, you didn't even update us on your mural, but I have been keeping up with the Schwartz House TikTok because you've been, or Instagram.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you have painted a little bit more. And it's
oh,
looking
I have.
So good,
Okay,
so.
good. Yes, I am. The very quick update on that is I have finished most of the big lemon wall. I added the rose bush on it, and then I shoved my console back up because I had an event mid-July, and so I finished that. But I didn't have the big extended ladder. I only had my three-step ladder, my three-step from Front Gate that I love, that little step stool. So I needed the true ladder, and that's like an aggressive outdoor ladder. And so I paused because I want to go up over the arch, up over the molding of the windows. I want it to kind of connect because, it's like kind of wild. So I need, but 3 walls are pretty much done other than connecting and adding a few more birds. And then the last wall I have is one that Caroline's husband did the painting for, which is all behind a dresser and a painting. So it's really not going to be, it'll be just a lot of up the top. So I need to get back into it, but it won't be till September at this point.
Well,
so.
at least you're at a good stopping point.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that was it. I tucked the paints away, and I'm going to try to finish in September so that finally, I can be done by Christmas is my goal. Christmas, you'll be done.
Well, it's looking so good.
Thank you.
And I love getting to see it on your background. As your work background.
Glad you like it.
Yep. And that's our show. You can find all of the show notes on our blog, howtodecorate.com/podcast.
To send in a decorating dilemma, email your questions to podcast@ballarddesigns.net so we can help you with your space.
And of course, be sure to follow us on social media at Ballard Designs.
Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And please leave us a review. We'd love to hear your feedback.
Until next time,
Happy decorating!